All right, let's talk about something huge for any growing business, raising capital. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can fuel your company's growth by issuing corporate bonds. We'll cover everything from your first steps in the local market all the way to the global stage. So, let's just dive right in.
It's the question every single ambitious entrepreneur faces, right? You've got this amazing vision. Maybe it's expanding production, maybe it's buying a new property, or launching a whole new project. But you need cash to make it real. We're talking that sweet spot, anywhere from 5 to 25 million Czech koruna, the kind of money that can genuinely change the game for you.
And here's the classic roadblock. You've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. The absolute last thing you want to do is dilute your ownership, give up a seat on your own board, or lose control over the vision. It's your baby, and you want to keep it that way 100%.
So what if you could get all that capital without selling a single share of your company? What if you could get the funding you need to hit that next level while keeping total control? Well, guess what? There is another way.
And that solution is the corporate bond. Now, this isn't some new flashy thing. It's a classic financial tool. But what's exciting is that it's becoming way more accessible for small and medium-sized businesses. It's a direct path to getting funded that lets you stay in the driver's seat. So what exactly is a corporate bond when you strip it all down? Honestly, it's pretty simple. You're basically taking out a loan, just not from a bank. You're borrowing money from a group of investors. They give you the cash you need now, and in return, you promise to pay them back their initial investment, that's the principal, plus some regular interest payments over a set amount of time. Simple as that.
Okay, so right out of the gate, you've got a major decision to make. It really comes down to this. Are you going to go big with a full public offering, or are you going to stay lean and mean with what's called a minibond? Now, the trade-off here is fascinating. A full bond with a prospectus that's been approved by the Czech National Bank, that gives you massive credibility. You can sell it to anyone, but it costs more and takes a lot longer. The minibond, on the other hand, is way faster and cheaper. It's perfect for smaller deals, say under €1 million. The catch? You're limited to fewer than 150 investors, or you can only sell to what are called qualified investors. Think pros who know the game. Choosing the right path here is all about matching your ambition with your timeline and your budget.
So you've made your choice. What happens next? Well, the whole process might seem a bit intimidating, but we can actually break it all down into a really clear 4-phase journey. Think of this as your roadmap, taking you from that initial idea all the way to having the funds in your bank account. Let's walk through these 4 phases together. First up, you plan, and I mean really plan. This is way more than just numbers on a page. It's about having a completely rock-solid business case. Second, you structure the deal. That's the whole mini-bond versus full bond decision we just talked about. Third, and you got to listen closely here, this is absolutely critical, the documentation. You have to prepare what's called the issuance terms, and this document is the legal heart and soul of your entire offering. This is not the place to cut corners. Finally, phase 4 is execution. You go out, you sell the bonds, and you start that long-term relationship of making good on your promises to your investors. But hey, what if your ambitions are bigger than just one country? What if you need more capital than the local market can give you? Well, the good news is this journey doesn't have to end at the Czech border. It is totally possible to take your bond offering across the entire EU and even attract investors from the US.
And this table right here shows you exactly how that works. Inside the European Union, there's this amazing thing called EU passporting. It's a total game changer. Basically, you get your prospectus approved right here in the Czech Republic, and boom, it's recognized across all the other EU countries. Now, for the US, there's something called Regulation S. This lets you sell to investors who are outside the US without having to go through the incredibly complicated SEC registration process. But, and this is a really big but, you are not allowed to actively market your bonds inside the United States. And anywhere else in the world? Well, you're playing by their local rules, and trust me, you are absolutely going to need local experts on your team.
Okay, so this whole journey is obviously full of opportunity, but I've got to be honest with you, it's also lined with traps. And making a mistake here doesn't just mean you fail to get your funding. It can lead to complete legal and financial disaster. So let's talk about how to avoid those pitfalls.
I really want you to let this quote sink in for a second. This is not some casual warning. This is a direct quote from the legal experts at moderningprovnik.cz. These are the people who see this stuff happen in the real world day in and day out. Taking a DIY approach, just grabbing some template off the internet for what is the single most important legal document in your offering, they're telling you straight up, that's a direct path to failure.
Trying to save a little money here can literally cost you your entire company down the road. So, let's nail this down. Here are the top 5 mistakes to avoid at all costs. Number 1. Underestimating the regulations. You can't just treat a public offer like it's a private chat with a few friends. It doesn't work that way. 2. Using those generic online templates we just talked about. Don't do it. 3. Setting totally unrealistic terms, like promising interest rates that your business cash flow could never, ever support. 4. Creating messy or unclear collateral terms that just make investors nervous. And finally, number 5, and this is a big one, going silent when problems pop up. Poor communication will destroy trust faster than anything else. You see how every single one of these mistakes just screams out why having professional legal guidance isn't a luxury? It's an absolute necessity.
And that really brings us to the final big question. Issuing bonds is an incredibly powerful way to achieve your company's biggest goals, all without giving up a piece of the pie. But as we've seen, it's a complicated journey, and it's filled with serious risks. So when you look at that vision you have for your future, you have to ask yourself, is navigating this path alone a risk you're really willing to take?